Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business News Afternoon Report for Friday, the 21st of July, 2023. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon, we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed down 0.2% today, dragged lower by tech stocks after a weak night on Wall Street for the Nasdaq. For the week, the local bourse finished flat. Today, BHP and Santos jumped 1%, as did Telstra. Woolies and Woodside Energy finished 1.5% higher. Among the tech stocks, Xero fell nearly 4%, and Technology One and Life360 both closed 3% lower. WiseTech Global and REA Group were both down around 2.5%. Gold stocks were also lower. Flight Centre continued its good run this week, up 2.5% today, while Endeavour Group bounced a bit after news in Victoria last weekend that will limit gaming hours. Endeavour finished more than 2% higher today, and the Aussie dollar is closing out the week at just under 68 US cents. Story number 2, Qantas is trying to address woeful on-time performance by changing the way it boards planes after the latest official statistics show Australia's dominant airlines remain sharply below their pre-pandemic disciplines. Qantas will begin customer trials of new boarding procedures next week aimed at reducing queues and getting passengers seated quicker. The airline will board domestic flights in 4 sections using 2 doors, front and rear, from the middle of the plane to the back. Qantas Chief Operating Officer Colin Hughes said the changes will make boarding smoother and quicker for customers, adding that the latest statistics demonstrate the airline is getting better. Well, those figures show that across all the airlines, that's Jetstar, Qantas, QantasLink, Rex, Skytrans and Virgin Australia, the on-time rate was just 69% in June. That's according to the Bureau of Infrastructure and Transport Research Economics. About 74% of flights departed and arrived on time in May, so it looks like it's going the wrong way. Story number 3, the share price of gold digger Newcrest fell 5% today after its suitor, US-based Newmont Resources, reported disappointing quarterly earnings. Newmont's second quarter gold production dropped 17% from a year earlier after it suspended a large mine in Mexico due to a workers' strike and reported weaker than expected performances in Argentina and in Ghana. It also temporarily closed a mine in Canada because of nearby wildfires. That is a very international company. Newmont, which is working to close its acquisition of Newcrest in the industry's largest ever deal, has seen its shares tumble 10% this year, even as spot gold prices are up about 8%. Story number 4, Aussie mango growers exporting to Japan aren't happy. They reckon changes to rules will push up the price of a case of mangoes by between $4 and $9. During COVID-19, the Federal Agricultural Department allowed government officials to approve mangoes for export. But now, the government has reinstated the old regime whereby the growers need to pay for Japanese inspectors to fly out to inspect fruit throughout the season. Japan became a major export market after Chinese demand fell. Apparently, the R2E2 variety of mango, whatever that is very popular in Japan, less so here. Now, the only thing I'd say about this, I get that the mango growers are not happy because they'll be getting less per crate to Japan. But if our exports become less competitive, doesn't that mean more mangoes for us? Hopefully. And story number 5, US giant Blackstone has become the first private equity group to manage $1 trillion. Fair to say, private equity is now pretty mainstream. Blackstone started in 1985 managing $400,000 in one private equity fund. Now it manages investments in real estate, credit, infrastructure, and hedge fund products. As the company's president, John Gray, told Bloomberg, "It's not your mother's and father's private equity firm." Sure isn't. Globally, Blackstone backs about 250 companies. In Australia, where it owns Crown Resorts, its local investments employ 27,000 people. Like other PE firms, think Brookfield, KKR, Carlyle, and Apollo Global Management, Blackstone is publicly listed and no longer just a destination for the rich. That's it for the afternoon report for Friday, the 21st of July, 2023. Don't forget to hit follow on the podcast and find Fear and Greed on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Join Michael Thompson and I tomorrow morning for the weekend Fast 5 by Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.